Does this only confine to a mother and a child? Is it only that women who have children can be mothers? If you look at it that way, then no, it's not a very singular thing. It's not a relationship, but rather motherliness is a role, and it can lie in very small things. We all have different relationships in our everyday lives, and we all spend a lot of our time in them. And in all those relationships, bringing a flavor of this motherly affection is going to provide a lot of warmth, care, and a new side to it. And this motherly affection is very important to to each of our relationships. It provides a sense of home to each of our relationships. But while doing that, while providing that sense of home, while hearing the person out, and while providing that warmth, we should always be careful not to take someone away from the dharma, but rather take someone into that dharma. Before we get into the topic, I would like to start from a small story. So, one fine morning, and the sun is shining bright, there's a gentle breeze in the air, and there is this forest just like our Valmiki ashrama. And there's an elephant. There's a mother elephant and a baby elephant traveling through this forest. And they're happily enjoying, and just like how we saw the Leela Bhavam today, the baby elephant is playing around with its mother, and they travel towards the end of the forest. And in the end, there's a small pond. They go there, they quench their thirst, they drink the water, they play there, and they have all that fun through the morning. And then they come back, they're traveling back through the forest. And while going a few steps ahead, the mother elephant looks back and its child is missing. So the mother elephant looks around for the baby elephant, it retraces its steps, and when it searches around, it sees that the baby elephant has fallen into a pit. And it's a very deep pit, and the baby elephant can't climb up. It's struggling, and it's calling to its mother. It's very anxious, it doesn't know what to do. And what happens is the mother elephant first tries to lift the elephant up, and then it tries digging the floor, it tries pushing, making the mud more leveled so that it can bring the elephant back up, but nothing is happening. So it keeps digging this mud for 1 hour, 2 hours, and this goes on. And in the nearby village, like here we have Ragihali and we have elephants that visit us, right? So similarly, there's a nearby village, and all the villagers come there, and they see this miracle happening. They see that the elephant keeps digging the ground. So they get curious. They get near the elephant and they see what's happening. There is this baby elephant that is stuck inside that pit. So the mother, it goes on digging for 6 hours, and this continues. And we know elephants are voracious eaters, they cannot go without their food for a long time. But this mother elephant doesn't stop even when it's hungry. Its only sole focus, its main goal is to get its baby out of that pit. And the baby elephant is struggling, the mother elephant is struggling. So, what happens is the villagers and all come and help. And after 11 hours of struggle, after 11 hours of digging the dirt with its trunk, it finally pulls out its baby out of the pit. And this is actually a real incident that recently happened that I heard about. And this is Matrabhavam. This is where the motherly affection lies. So, Sitaram, today we'll be covering the first topic in Vatsalyam, which is motherly affection in Ramayana or Vatsalyam, Matrabhavam. So, when we hear the word mother, what comes to our mind first? Maybe we can imagine a woman who's standing in the kitchen cooking delicious meals for her family, or perhaps if we are a little older, I've heard my professor say before that his incident that his grandmother used to wait at home till he came back to eat. So she used to prepare all the food and keep it. So perhaps someone who is waiting for you patiently, who is there for you at the end of the day, someone who provides us that sense of home, that sense of warmth to us. And that is Matrabhavam, that is Vatsalyam. But does this only confine to a mother and a child? Is it only that women who have children can be mothers. If you look at it that way, then no, it's not very singular thing. It's not a relationship, but rather motherliness is a role, and it can lie in very small things. Like a friend of mine that I know, every time that she goes to work, she asks us about a subordinate, the laborers there. She asks, "Have you eaten?" This is a very very simple gesture, but it was reciprocated so well. The workers there, every time that she goes, they used to call her for tea. For tea breaks, they used to call her, and they bonded with her so well because in that one moment they feel heard. They feel they feel like they have been acknowledged, and they feel that special bond, and that is motherliness. So we can say that it doesn't need to be a mother and a child alone. We can be a mother no matter who we are, no matter our gender or our relationship with that person. We can be a mother to our sibling, to our friend. Maybe when we are making a meal for our sibling, even if we are the younger sibling, if we cook for our older sibling when she's hungry or something, that times we act as a mother to them. And in no matter the relationship, motherly love is pervasive, and there are different aspects of motherly love. There is guidance. There are different aspects of motherly love, like there is the aspect of a mother guiding her child, or there is providing support, or being, sometimes our mothers are rightful to us, the henpeckers sometimes, and that rightfulness or forgiveness. And there are different aspects of motherliness that comes into play, right? So in today's outline is, we will be exploring these different aspects of motherly love in the various relationships that are present in Ramayana. So we will divide this lecture into two parts. The first part will see different episodes in Ramayana where this motherly affection is displayed. And in the second part, we'll bring out a new feature, or I wouldn't call it new, but it is a more, it is less appreciated. I would say it's less acknowledged. We'll bring out that attribute to motherly love, which is shown in Ramayana. So let's get on with part one. And we saw what motherly love was, and the different relationships we'll see today are the classical parent and child relationship, which is a usual one, the normal one. And then there's the stepmother and stepson relationship. And then we'll see the how motherly love can be seen between a husband and a wife, and a daughter-in-law and her in-laws, a rishi and another practitioner of dharma. And finally, we'll touch upon the subtopic of how Mother Sita is portrayed in Ramayana. So this is for part one. Okay, so getting on to parent and child. Well, the first duo that we can think of when we think of a parent and child relationship in Ramayana is maybe Mother Kausalya, right? Rama Mata Yashaswini. So this Rama Mata is first introduced in the third Sarga of Ayodhya Khanda. Here, Rama's friends come to inform Kausalya of the news of coronation, and she gets overjoyed. She makes donations to them, and when Rama himself comes to inform her of this news, she blesses Rama, and then she tells him, "This is a service that you have gotten, that you can do to your people. This is a huge opportunity that you've gotten to serve your people." And she further tells him, "कल्याणे बत नक्षत्रे मयि जातोऽसि पुत्रक येन त्वया दशरथो गुणैराराधितः पिता." "O my son, you were born to me on an auspicious star, and by your tall virtues, your father is worshipped by you." Here we can see two aspects of Kausalya. One, by bringing her father into the picture, she doesn't just congratulate him and let it go. It's not just a, "Oh, hey, that's great news that you've got your Pattabhishekam." She doesn't just end it there. It's more holistic, the way she talks to Rama. She's bringing a family bonding by including Dasharatha into this topic. And by saying that you've gotten an opportunity to serve your people, she's guiding Rama further into this dharma. So, this is the first instance of motherly affection that is displayed between Kausalya and Rama. And the next instance is a few more chapters down the lane. We can see that the tables turn, and Rama has to now leave to the forest. So he comes to inform Kausalya of the new turn of events. And at this point, Kausalya, when she first hears the news, well, any mother would react this way, right? She faints, and then she wails out loud, and she asks Rama, "Why are you leaving to the forest?" And she, in fact, she's even a little rightful. She goes a step ahead, and she tells Rama, "Don't go to the forest. If your father is telling you to go to the forest, then I am your mother. I'm telling you not to go to the forest." And when she's speaking like this, Rama tries to console her, and a lot of conversation takes place there. And then at the end, Rama tells her, "Dharmo hi paramo loke, dharme satyam pratishtitam, dharma samshritam etaccha piturvachanam uttamam." Oh mother, dharma is our prime duty. We all are bound to dharma. And following our father's words and making him truthful is what is our prime dharma. So you and me, we are both indebted to our father, and we are both to follow this dharma. When Rama tells this, and after a lot of convincing, finally Kausalya, she doesn't hold her selfish thoughts, but even though she wants Rama to stay back, she understands that what is the actual well-being of Rama is when he follows dharma. So she tells him, instead of pining and pulling him back, she tells him, "Okay, now that you've decided to go to the forest, fine, go to the forest, and may all the elements in the forest protect you." And here we can see the protective nature of a mother. When she finally accepts, the first thing that comes to her mind after calming down is that her son should stay protected in the forest. She tells him, "Yam palayasi dharmam tvam, dhritya cha niyamena cha, savairagavashardula dharmastvam abhirakshatu." Oh, my dear son, you're going to the forest to guard this dharma, right? May this dharma also guard you in the forest. So, here again, she's instilling this dharma and she's emphasizing it further to Rama. So, these two episodes, we can see the portrayal of a mother and son relationship and how motherly affection is displayed between these two. The next relationship we'll be taking is a stepmother and her stepson. Another small story here. So, Bharata, when in Ayodhya Kanda, he tells Kaikeyi the story of Kamadenu. So, Indra's traveling across the sky, he's traversing the sky, and at that point, when he's moving, he feels hot tears on his shoulders. And he looks back, "Oh, who's crying?" And he sees Kamadenu, the heavenly cow, is standing in the sky, and she's looking at something and she's crying. So he goes to her, and Indra is very perplexed, and he tells, "Oh mother, have we done some mistake? Um, why are you crying?" And on hearing this, Kamadenu tells, "No, you all haven't done anything wrong. But there, do you see, on earth, there are two of my sons. There are two bulls who are toiling in the sun. They are plowing through the fields. And seeing them work so hard in this scorching heat, it just makes me feel sad." Well, you can ask, Kamadenu has countless sons. All the cattle in this world are her sons. Why should she be worried about two sons toiling in the sun? It should be insignificant, right? But that's not the thing. To a mother, all her sons are equal, no matter where they are or what they're doing. If they're suffering, that suffering is her own suffering. So this is how it is to a mother. It doesn't matter whether it's her own child or if it's a stepson or if it's another child. As long as the Matrabhavam exists, she will feel concerned for that child. And this can be seen in Kausalya Mata in Ayodhya Kanda. When Bharata learns of the news of Rama's exile, and Bharata becomes very, very perplexed. He becomes very anxious, and he rushes to Kausalya Mata and he tells her, "Oh mother, may I go to hell if I was the reason for Rama's exile? If I was behind all of this, then and if I am accepting Rama's exile, then may I go to hell." Like this, he tells throughout the whole night. He blames himself and he cries through the night. And Kausalya stays there and she keeps consoling Bharata throughout the whole night. Well, Kausalya could have said, "Hey, it's okay," and she could have moved on. And she could have even held a grudge against Bharata. After all, it was Kaikeyi who separated her son from her. But she does not see Bharata as, "Oh, it's her child, so I'm going to differentiate him." It's not like that for her. For her, Bharata is just as equal as Rama is to her. So she stays the whole night. She consoles Bharata and she even tells him, "Bharata, seeing you cry is making me further sad, and you are our strength. You should be strong for us." And there she tells, Dishtyana chalito dharmat atma te saha lakshmanaha vatsa satya pratignote satam lokam avapsyasi. She consoles Bharata and tells him, Oh Bharata, your virtue and your dharmas are that is just like that of Lakshmanas. And you will only get the worlds that the noble men get. So do not fret, do not be sad, and be strong. Here we can see that by remembering Lakshmana's virtues, we can see that just as how she is motherly to Bharata, she even remembers Lakshmana at this instance, and we can see her motherly affection for Lakshmana as well. So here the concern aspect of a mother can be seen in Kausalya towards Bharata. And another instance for this relationship, the stepson and stepmother relationship, is Sumitra. Sumitra is the mother of Lakshmana, and after Rama leaves to the forest, we can see that Kausalya finds a friend in Sumitra. She cries out to Sumitra. And there, when consoling Kausalya, Sumitra tells her that our sons, nobody can beat them. Even if the three worlds come against them in the battle, there is no one who can win a war against Rama. And Rama will come back after 14 years, after following his dharma, after following his father's, fulfilling his father's promise, he will be here with us. And before you know it, they'll be here and they'll be prostrating to you. And you'll be happy again. Here we can see the pride and confidence of a mother. And when she says that Rama will fulfill his father's promise, we can see that she even supports Rama completely in his decision to follow Dharma. And here, the supportiveness of a mother can be seen in Sumitra. So, this here in these two instances, we saw how a stepson and stepmother's relationship, how the motherly affection is portrayed. Next relationship that we go to is the husband and wife relationship. And the iconic duo, the iconic couple of Ramayana here, we take them, Rama and Sita. And we can see how Rama is a parent, how Rama is a mother to Sita in this instance. So, Sita, when conversing with Anasuya, tells Anasuya Mata that Matravat Pitravat Priyaha. Rama takes care of me like a mother and a father. And here, this word that Rama takes care of me like a mother finds substantiation in Rama's actions in many places in the epic. And I've quoted two of them here. When Rama tells Sita that he's going to the forest, Sita tries to go with him, and he vehemently opposes it. He tries to discourage her in all ways possible. Here Valmiki says, "Vane dukkhani chintayen," thinking of all the difficulties that there'll be for Sita in the forest, he tries to discourage her against it. And this is just like the motherly concern, how even Kausalya, when Rama goes to the forest, tells Rama that there will be, what will you eat in the forest, where will you lie down, and all those motherly concerns, right? The same thing Rama tells Sita here, that there'll be thorns in the forest, you have to only eat leaves, and you can only eat fallen down fruits. And he tries the same tactic to dissuade Sita from coming. But of course, Sita stays strong and she comes with him. But here we can see Rama's concern for Sita. And another instance of this is displayed in Sundarakanda when he sees the Chudamani. Rama tells Yateva Denushravati Snehad Vatsasya Vatsala Tatha Mama Hridayam Maniratnasya Darshana. He tells, when I see this Chudamani, tears fall from my eyes, just like how a cow lactates on seeing her calf. When I see this Chudamani, I'm reminded of Sita and I'm crying. Here again, the correlation between a cow and a calf and how Rama's Vatsalyam towards Sita can be seen here. So these are just a few instances that we can see for how motherly affection can also be seen between a husband and a wife. The next relationship we are going to is the in-laws relationship. So, in this, I would like to quote an incident that happened a few years ago. So, when our Guru Dr. Ranganji was giving his pravachanams in Ayodhya, he had just finished giving Ayodhya Kandam that year, and there was this elderly lady that came to him, and she asked him, Well, you finished Ayodhya Kandam this year. That means, will you say Aranya Kandam next year? And well, Anna said yes. And the lady told, well, I'm a Sita Sakhi and I consider Sita as my friend. But here's the thing, we all Ayodhya people see Sita as our ladli, as our dear child. So we cannot bear hearing Sita Paharanam. We cannot bear hearing how she got harmed and how hurt she was. So uh, please tell it a little less and try to not touch upon it as much. Here we can see even till this date, Ayodhya people see Sita as their own child. Like as a community, motherly affection is shown as a community, not just an individual, but they all see her as their own daughter. And this can be evidently seen in the in-laws. Valmiki says that when Rama is leaving to the forest in the court scene, what happens is there's a lot of conversations going on, and Rama tells, "Can I have tree barks?" And then Kaikeyi brings tree barks for the three of them from somewhere in the whole huge mansion. She finds three tree barks for the three of them. And Rama and Lakshmana wear it easily, but Sita needs help, so she looks at Rama and Rama ties it for her. And at that time, till then, the the women of Dashratha who were silently weeping on one side, when they see that Sita is getting these tree barks, they cannot handle it. They start wailing aloud. And Dasharatha, once he regains consciousness, he sees Sita in that state and he's like, "Oh, Kaikeyi, don't be wicked. Don't do this to Sita. She is a very soft, soft girl. She's a princess. She does not deserve this." And then he tells his treasurer to go get a lot of jewels and royal garments. And he tells Sita that she can only go to the forest as a princess. She should not suffer like this. They see Sita as their own daughter. They cannot bear seeing Sita suffer in the forest. And this is even more evident. We can see the same thing in the forest life when Bharata comes to meet Rama. Kausalya hugs Sita and she sees how lean Sita has gotten due to the forest life. And she cries about the loss of her father in law, and they speak for a while. And there, Valmiki says, Mata duhitaram yata, just like how a mother would hug her daughter and embrace her daughter, Kausalya, on seeing Sita, is very sad and she embraces Sita. So, in these instances, we can see how the in laws have a motherly affection towards Sita Mata. And the next and penultimate relationship we'll be touching upon here today is the relationship between a rishi and a practitioner of a dharma. So, in Aranyakanda starts like this. Rama gets into the forest and he's strolling into the deep jungle. And at that time, a group of rishis come behind him and call him Natha. And they say, Nyastadanda vayam rajan jitakroda jitendriyaः रक्षणीया स्वया shashwat garbhabhutaः tapodanaः. They tell him, O Rama, we take refuge in you. We cannot take arms and we cannot fight against the Rakshasas. We have been very troubled by these Rakshasas, and you must protect us just as how a mother would protect her fetus in the womb. You must take care of us like that. We know that when outside babies can cry, they can make some sort of way they make sure that they're heard. But when in the womb, the mother must take care of all the needs. The mother must make sure that the baby is well fed. It all depends on the mother, right? And here the rishis portray a similar thing. They say that here you should take care of us just like how an unborn child is taken care of like by his mother. And this is also reciprocated by Rama. When Rama hears this, he takes a vow saying, I will eliminate all the Rakshasas and I will restore peace and harmony to your lives. So, this is one instance of an example where Rishis and Rama have this mother and child relationship. And coming to the last and ultimate section of part one, Mother Sita. Well, lot of songs have been written and lot of texts, lot of bhaktas have seen Mother Sita as the universal mother. Jagat Janani is what we call her. And this is due to her large hearted, forgiving nature. We can see that she is very, very accepting. Just as how Rama says, Yadiva Ravana Swayam, even if Ravana comes, I will accept him. Mother Sita has the same feelings. She reciprocates. She is the other half of Rama. And this is very evident in the Sundarakanda and Yuddhakanda. We can see two instances. I'm only quoting two instances here, but there are many instances. And well, in Sundarakanda, we can see how she's tortured by all those Rakshasis. She wails out and she feels very hopeless because the Rakshasis keep torturing her. They keep telling her, I will pull your spleens out, I will gouge your eyes, I will squeeze your neck. Let me find different ways to. They invent different ways of torturing a person. And through all of this, Sita could have easily held a grudge. And as we saw in the court, as we saw in Krishnaji's lecture yesterday, the victim can easily ask for revenge. But here, what happens is that Sita does not ask for revenge. When in Yudhakanda, when Hanuman comes to inform Sita of Rama's victory, he tells her, should I retaliate for everything that they did? Should I do it to all of them? The one who said she'd gouge your eyes out, should I gouge her eyes out? And when Hanuman asks like this, Sita tells, Papanam va shubhanam va vadarhanam plavangama karyam karunamaryena nakaschit naparadhyati nakaschit naparadhyati. Nobody is flawless in this world. So Hanuman don't hold this revenge against them. They were doing this on Ravana's order. Now on Vibhishana's order they will do a different thing. Nobody is flawless, so do not hold this against them. Everybody makes mistakes. And here we can see that though all the torture she went through, 10 months of torture from those Rakshasis, and yet she does not hold it against them. She forgives them so easily, like it was second nature to her. And that is the forgiving nature of a mother. And well, let's forget Rakshasis. Even they were just doing daily little bit of harm. But Ravana, who was the reason of all her misery in the first place, all this time apart from Rama, all this time worrying whether Rama was even alive, so much of mental torture for Sita, so much of trauma, but all this due to Ravana. And even when he did such a wrong for her, what she does is when Ravana, in Sundarakanda, she tells Ravana, विदितस्य हि धर्मज्ञः शरणागतवत्सलः तेन मैत्री भवतु ते यदि जीवितुमिच्छसि प्रसादयस्त्वं क्षणं शरणागतवत्सलं मां चास्मै नियतो भूत्वा निर्यातयितुमर्हसि. Taking me as the Purushakaram, keeping me in the front, you go and take refuge in Rama. You become his friend and he will forgive you. Even here, we can see that she only tries to advise him for his own good. She doesn't hold vengeance against him. And this is how a mother is. Even though the child wrongs her, she tries to forgive the child, and furthermore, she tries to correct the child and bring him to the right path. That is her ultimate goal. Her ultimate goal isn't to shun the child away and sort of push him away, but rather she tries to include him and she tries to see ways of correcting him and getting him back to good. And that is what we can see Sita does throughout. She tries to advise him against this and she tries to instill dharma into him. So these are a few instances we can see the motherly nature of Sita being displayed in Ramayana. So to have a small recap with for ending the first part of our session, motherly love, as we saw, is very pervasive. Motherly love is very pervasive, and different relationships we can have the in all our everyday relationships we can have this motherly love that can be shown, and there are different aspects to it that we covered, like the concern or forgivingness of Sita or the guiding nature of Sumitra. And next we'll get on to part 2, which is the new attribute that Rama brings to this motherly love. Well, all this is fine. We have analyzed what motherly love is, how it can be displayed, and how it can be seen in different relationships. But what is the base of this motherly love? What differentiates a good, as Anna was saying yesterday, the negative child and positive child. Today, sorry, negative child and positive child. What is negative parenting and positive parenting? A motherly affection can be toxic as well as healthy. Here, Ramayana shows us example of both toxic and healthy parenting, healthy motherly affection. And what is the underlying basis that can help us discern between this toxic and healthy motherly affection? That is dharma. If we can see in all the instances of healthy motherly love being displayed in Ramayana, there is an underlying current of dharma that is always present in it. And the two types in Shastras, generally there is an Anvaya way and a Vyatireka example. The Anvaya example is generally one we can directly inspire and take from, and the Vyatireka example is one that we learn not to follow. So, the Anvaya example of a mother, a healthy mother, is Sumitra. We can see that when Lakshmana is leaving to the forest in the court, he comes and bids adieu to his mother. There, Sumitra tells Lakshmana, Srishtaswam vanavasaya swanurakta suhrijane rame pramadam akashi putra bratari gachati. She tells him, Oh Lakshmana, you were made to go to the forest. You were made to follow your brother. So yajjeshta vashago bhavet. Go follow your brother, and that is our dharma. You following your elder brother is the dharma, and he knows what to do. And never be careless about Rama. And she enthusiastically sends him to the forest. Both Lakshmana and Sumitra, we can see that it's not that she's not sad that Lakshmana is going. It's not like she's very happy he's going to the forest, but she knows that even though she is sad, and even though 14 years that she's going to miss Lakshmana, she knows that being with Rama is better welfare for him. So she knows that Lakshmana should go with Rama in order for him to have welfare, in order for him to follow dharma. And here we can see Sumitra prioritizes this dharma over her own motherly love or affection that she feels. She doesn't force her affection first. This is an ideal example of how motherly affection should be. It should be driven by dharma. It should instill the other person into dharma. And this what another thing that's so what Sumitra does here is that by saying yajjeshta vashago bhavet, by saying that follow your elder brother, we can see that generally dharma is the elders follow dharma, and by following the elders we also tend to follow this dharma. So in the family this dharma is kept, and the family is kept intact this way. So in a way we know that women hold the family together, so this motherliness of her holds this family together by instilling this dharma further into it. And now let's come to the Vyatireka example, which is Kaikeyi. Throughout the epic, how the main point of change of Kaikeyi's mindset is when Mantra tells her, Your son will get affected. Kaikeyi is happy about Ramayana's news, and until Mantra tells her, Your son is going to get affected, and well, Bharata will probably have to, leave this kingdom forever and things. And that's when she changes her mind. So we can see here that what drives Kaikeyi is also another aspect of motherly affection. She feels that she's doing welfare for Bharata, but in fact, what she does is not helping Bharata but harming him. And how can that be seen? How can that be discerned? Is when we know that Kaikeyi wants the betterment of Bharata at the cost of everybody else's happiness. She wants it at the cost of the Ayodhya people's happiness, at the cost of Kausalya's happiness by separating Kausalya from her son. And in fact, it even comes at the cost of Bharata's happiness. Bharata is not satisfied or happy with what Kaikeyi has decided to do by sending Rama to the forest. And when she thinks that she can bestow welfare by harming everybody else, when she thinks that adharma can be welfare to her son, that's where the motherly affection could also go wrong. And here we can see that when dharma is driven out of the motherly affection can also be toxic. So here, Ramayana not only teaches us about what motherly love is, it also teaches us about what should be the base of motherly love, which is this dharma that should be the basis of motherly love. So the ideal mother, as we can see, is Sumitra, who is completely supportive of um, Lakshmana and Rama's decision in following Satya. And the worst possible mother could be someone like Kaikeyi, who decides to bestow welfare while doing it in the form of adharma. And in between, we see Kausalya, who is a normal, emotional, and natural mother like us. We all have emotions. We are all attached to our friends, our family, or whoever might be in the equation. But what happens is that ultimately, Kausalya also chooses dharma. She decides to send Rama to the forest, accepting it that Rama is going on his own, and she accepts that dharma is greater while sending. And we can see that, well, we are also normal people like that. We might also have emotions. And in the situation of Kausalya, or in any situation where we find ourselves in a conflict between our own affection for someone and dharma, we could be like Kausalya, and we could choose to take dharma over our affection. So, in conclusion, I'd like to say that, to sum up, we all have different relationships in our everyday lives, and we all spend a lot of our time in them. And in all those relationships, bringing a flavor of this motherly affection is going to provide a lot of warmth, care, and a new side to it. And this motherly affection is very important to to each of our relationships. It provides a sense of home to each of our relationships. But while doing that, while providing that sense of home, while hearing the person out, and while providing that warmth, we should always be careful not to take someone away from the dharma, but rather take someone into that dharma. We ourselves should be further instilled into that dharma, and also instill the other person into that dharma. Well, little Ananubandha Sukha displays of affection, like cooking food for someone, may not be connected to dharma on the whole, but when it comes to making bigger decisions where we are motherly to someone, we must be very careful about whether dharma is guiding us in this path or not. So, Esha Dharma Sanatanaha, and let us all get inspired by all these motherly displays of affection in Ramayana, and let us further get inspired to stay in this dharma while providing motherly affection while sharing this motherly affection in our everyday lives. Sitaram.